what I'd like to know first is, how did you find your way to be a passenger on the Underground Railroad project?
That's yeah, that's a really great question. So in 2018, Barry traveled to London to see his dear friend Andre Holland play Othello at the Globe. And it just so happened that I was also in that show playing Cassio, who is Othello's lieutenant. And firstly, that's how Barry even discovered that I existed. And then not long after the show, he sent me a direct message on Twitter, basically just sharing, his love and appreciation and support for what he'd seen, and said, we need to connect and make something happen. Then not long after that, I was auditioning for the Underground Railroad.
Wow. He slid into your DMs and got you a gig. I love that. It's the best way to say that. Now,
at first I didn't think it was real. I thought something.
Well, I wouldn't either. Like you're looking at your DMs and this person is saying that they're Barry Jenkins. You're like, yeah, right. Like, I totally understand why you would feel that. But thank goodness he did, because look what we came up with. So that's wonderful. How did you and Thuso find that connection? Because the sparks just fly off of the screen. The energy between the two of you is just palpable, and it feels so natural and so right and so organic. Did you guys work on that together beforehand? Did you know each other beforehand? Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Well, firstly, I just want to say that Thuso she is extraordinarily gifted, and
I concur.
She is so open and generous, and as I said, just extraordinarily gifted. And I have to also thank Barry, because he created what I describe as the foundation of Aaron and Thuso's relationship, because something that was really important to him, particularly at the beginning of the process when we first landed in Georgia, was rehearsal and conversation. And he brought Thuso and I together, and we discussed everything. Of course, we discussed the characters, their journeys and the work, but we also connected as individuals. And that was the springboard for us actually developing a genuine friendship and trust that was invaluable when it came to actually being on set, because we knew that we had the support of one another, particularly when exploring these really vulnerable emotions and horrific subject matters.
Do you think that Black men in general are still having to walk that tightrope of not making someone else that is deemed as other in our eyes feel less inferior due to their insecurities? Absolutely.
But what I can say is, I think, to answer the first part of your question, I think what Barry does so beautifully is he allows Caesar to transcend from a physical space to a spiritual space. And that's how he continues, despite what happens to him, that's how he continues to travel and journey with Cora. And I think in that, Barry has allowed Caesar to triumph over his violent and hateful end. He triumphs over the violence and the hate because he still exists in Cora's spiritual. And I think that was really important and really beautiful. And to answer the second part of your question, I think a lot's still happening in this world we live in. And I think we have a very, very long way to go as a global community and as a human race in regards to empathy, unity, understanding. My hope is that this contributes to that conversation and allows people to reflect and ask of themselves what they can do that is conducive to progress in these areas. And another hope of mine is that if anybody is feeling this, that we discontinue we discontinue to feel inferior, and that we need to subdue our intelligence, our emotional intelligence. We need to be present in all of ourselves.
I know that's right. Yes, yes, yes. Bring it. Bring it with all the thunder. Do you think that all of these things, like with the syphilis trials and all these things that have happened with Black Americans in America, that contributes to some of us not being a little leery or a little kind of like, I don't know if I want to get a shot kind of feeling, because we have been betrayed in the past when it's come to things of that nature?
Thank you. I think, you mentioned the Tuskegee experiment, and, that is only one of many things that can contribute to a severe distrust. I think, that certainly contributes to a sort of unsure feeling, that people have towards being, towards Western medicine, because there is a history of it not always being transparent in relation to us and our bodies.
There's a quote from the book that says, "The past is the past." How do you think your past, being from the stage, is now affecting your past, or which is affecting your future in cinema? Because it seems like it's about to be very, very bright.
Thank you. No, it's for me, I'm a theatre man, and I started. I grew up in a place called West Croydon in South London, and there was a small theatre group which was in a warehouse theatre, and we would just devise and improvise and put it on for anyone who wanted to share the work with us, which often wasn't very many people. But theatre is, it's where it started for me, and I'm forever grateful for it. It's opened up doors which I didn't even imagine were possible in my career. So I'm thankful for that. And in regards to what I do next, I'm truly not driven by a medium, whether that's theatre, film, or television. I'm not drawn by a genre. I'm drawn by what resonates with me. And I've been very fortunate to work on projects that resonate with me. The Underground Railroad. I did a play in 2019, which was an August Wilson play, King Hedley II, which was
I
another
can see you doing that. I'm very familiar with that play. Yeah.
incredible play. So I've been very fortunate to be working on projects that resonate with me, and I pray that God allows me to continue to do this.
Well, if James Earl Jones ever steps down from Darth Vader, your voice could definitely step in and take over. I'm just saying.
You mean it now? Oh no.
Yes, yes. If he ever stepped down, you are the dude. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for being so insightful and deep with your answers to my detailed questions. I appreciate it. Congratulations on the Underground Railroad, and I'm looking forward to many great things from you in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
To keep up with the Curvy Critic, like our page here, click that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications. Love, peace, and hair.